Welcome to an AMA on OPPO Reno8 T. If you are here, you can start asking questions on the OPPO Reno8 T in the comments. I will be reading them and will be answering them. I will be seeing the chat. I will just send a hi through the chat so that you can see. I hope you can see the chat. You can ask questions if you are seeing the chat now. So let's start with the first question. I have some questions prepared for this AMA. So here is the OPPO Reno8 T. As you can see, it's actually a gorgeous device. You can clearly see how good this design is. It's a 3D screen having full HD, more than full HD. It's full HD plus 2412 pixels from top to bottom and 1080 pixels from side to side. So what you can see in the bottom are the features, that main features of the OPPO Reno8 T. If you have any questions about any of the device, I have been using this device for the last 2 months, so I am pretty familiar with the device. So you can ask any questions. If you are having something, you can ask in the comments. I will be answering them. I will wait for like 1 minute, one more minute, and then I will answer some questions I was asked before in my posts and through messages in social media. Okay, now I will move on to the first question of the bunch. First question is about the fingerprint sensor. Where is the fingerprint sensor on the OPPO Reno8 T? The fingerprint sensor on the OPPO Reno8 T is located at the bottom around this area. I will show you how good is the fingerprint sensor. It's hardly 1 centimeter from the bottom of the phone, and it is an in-display fingerprint sensor, but it is faster than many side-mounted fingerprint sensors, and I never had a problem with the fingerprint sensor until now. Also, the phone has a very good facial recognition system, which recognizes my face and unlocks the phone without even seeing the fingerprint sensor. Let me just show you how it is working. I will turn off the device for once. Turn on. You can see the fingerprint sensor at the bottom. Let me move the scroll to the upside. Let me just show you the face recognition also. You can see that my face got recognized very fast and the device unlocked immediately. So that is about the fingerprint sensor and the OPPO Reno8 T. So I hope there are no questions on the fingerprint sensor. If you are having any questions on the fingerprint sensor, you can ask in the chat. I will be sure to answer them. So moving on to the next question. It's about the 5G support. Does the phone support all the 5G bands in India? The answer is yes. The phone supports all the major 5G bands in India, and it currently actually it is working in a 5G. I'll just move my camera so that you can see it properly. You can see that the phone is currently working in a 5G network. I am currently using an Airtel SIM. I have also used sorry, I have also used a Jio SIM on this phone, and it is working perfectly. There is no issue in getting 5G bands. The network speed also is pretty good with the 5G. Even in indoors, there is no problem in getting the 5G signal, and there is no dropped calls or anything. In fact, I have made a call quality test on this phone, which was done in 5G network itself. I didn't mention that in that video, but when I reviewed the footage, I understood that the network was 5G in fact at that point when I made the call. And the call quality, I should say that it is also very good. The call quality of the Reno8 T is almost similar to a pure standalone microphone. So I am very impressed by the call quality of the OPPO Reno8 T. So this is about the 5G. It supports all the 5G bands that are available in India, and it is working perfectly with the 5G network. There is no issue in 5G support. So moving on to the next option. Next question is about the camera, and the question is, does the camera has a zoom? The answer is yes, the camera does have a zoom, and the front camera does not have any zoom. It is a Sony IMX709, which is actually a pretty good camera. And the back camera, which is a 108 megapixel Samsung ISOCELL 2 camera, it has a zoom function around 3x. You can zoom, but if you are using a full-fledged, like the largest format that is available, which is the 108 megapixel photo, if you are taking such a large photo, you will not have any zoom available on this phone. Now moving on to the camera, is there any image stabilization? This next question was about image stabilization. Is there any image stabilization to the camera? When I had the phone for the first time, there was no image stabilization either in the video or in the photos. But after 1 or 2 updates, there was an image stabilization that came to the video camera first. Now the photo also has some image stabilization, but I should say that it is not on par with the flagships. It performs okay, but still it has a long way to go. Now moving on to the next question, it is about the memory card. Is there a memory card in the OPPO Reno8 T? The answer is yes. There is an option to place a memory card in the OPPO Reno8 T, and that option is actually a limiting option, I should say. Why? Because as this phone is a dual SIM phone, you have to sacrifice one SIM for accommodating the memory card. The memory card goes into the SIM 2 slot, so if you are using a memory card, you will not be able to place a second SIM. So if you can, but still, if you doesn't use the second SIM, you can expand the memory, which is 128 GB by default. You can expand it to 1 TB, expand it by 1 TB, I should say. So 1 TB, you can add 1 TB memory card to this phone, so that the total memory is more than 1 TB plus the 128 GB that is already available on the phone. Now another question I had was about the design. Was the design comfortable to hold? I should say yes. This design is actually very comfortable to hold. I never had any slip. I am not using a phone cover on this phone. I'm using it with bare hands. I never had any slip. There is no fingerprint residue on the back also. That it has a very specific design. I will show you the back side. 1 second. This design is actually a very specific design of design from OPPO. It reflects light in a very eye-catching manner, and it does not attract fingerprints. You will not see fingerprints on the back of this phone. So all in all, it's a good design, I should say. It's comfortable to hold, it doesn't slip, and it is very light. That is an uncharacteristically different feature of this phone, I should say. Why? It is only 171 grams in size. 171 gram, when you compare the flagships, it's on the lower side. maybe 10 or 20 phones that has a feature similar to this phone has a weight less than 171 gram. That actually is an incredible feat of engineering. Now, the next question was about an IR blaster. Is there any IR blaster on this phone? No, there is no IR blaster on this phone. Another question was about the version of the Android on OPPO Reno8 T. The version of Android that came with the phone came with Android 13. It was actually ColorOS 13, which is based on Android 13, and after 2 updates, it's Android 13 itself. Now, 5 updates has come until now. All of them improved the phone slightly. Another question was about 4K videos. Does the phone support 4K videos? No. You cannot you cannot record 4K videos on the Reno8 T. You can record videos in only 2 resolution, in fact. One is the Full HD and the other is 720p. Also, you cannot specify the frame rate for either the resolutions. By default, it records at 30 frames per second. You don't have an option to change the frame rate either. So the next question I had about the OPPO Reno8 T was type of the screen. Because it's a curved screen, many people asked what type of screen does the OPPO Reno8 T has. The Reno8 T has a curved AMOLED screen. OLED screen that is very good in displaying perfect blacks. So also it is Netflix and Prime Video HDR certified. It does display the video in perfect clarity. So that's it about the display. Now about the gaming. Being a phone that has only a Snapdragon 695 processor, I was really skeptical about the gaming capabilities of this phone. But I was really surprised with the performance of this phone, because when I tried to play the Free Fire Max, I have already uploaded the video of playing Free Fire Max at 60 frames per second, all while recording the phone itself, which was an incredible feat, I should add. The Full HD, the recording was in 720p at 30 frames per second, but the gameplay was going on at 60 frames per second. Without any stutter, there was no issues at all. I could record the whole gameplay, around 11 minutes of gameplay. I have already uploaded the gameplay too. You can see the gameplay in my channel. I will once I finish this recording, I will add the link to the comment sections also. So that is about the fingerprint sensor. If anybody is having any questions, you can ask also. If you are watching from anywhere, you can ask, you can type in the messages where you are from. I'll say hi. Okay, so I think I will wind up this broadcast here today. I will come back again with a better, more. This is the first time this is the first time I'm having an AMA, a live program in my channel. It's my first experience. I learned the software, hardware, everything I had to learn from scratch in 3 days. So I hope this was not a disaster. I hope you learned something about the OPPO Reno8 T from this video. Thank you for watching. Have a happy day.